You can add your own flavors, all that fun stuff. Now, the first step of it is read the package directions. Okay? Each package has directions on it. Okay? Read those carefully. Then you add the correct amount of hot water, because we want to add the hot water first so that everything dissolves. Now, I didn't want to boil up water separately, so I happen to have a pretty decent coffee maker, and I just made the correct amount of hot water using that. Okay, you can boil it and measure it out, however, and at this point you want to pretty much dissolve. This is going to take just a couple minutes to do, because you want to dissolve all the solids into the hot water. Okay. Now, one advantage to using a clear glass or Pyrex container is that you have a better chance of seeing if you have any that you missed. And go ahead and do some extra stirring to make sure you get it all taken care of. Now, did that. Now I'm adding the cold water. Okay, once again, per the package instructions. Little bit of stirring this time just to distribute. Okay. Now, at this point, we are going to put it into the refrigerator. Now, because I'm going to be adding some fruit to it, okay, I'm putting it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Like I said, this is something, it takes some time. So I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, I'm going to set my timer, and then I'll come back and add the fruit, okay? And there's a couple tricks for that too. Now, the reason we wait for 2 hours before adding the fruit is so that it won't all sink to the bottom. We want it to distribute throughout. Okay, so if the Jello is partially set, then it keeps everything from sinking to the bottom, and we're a lot happier with it. Okay, so once again, into the refrigerator for 2 hours, or if all you want is plain, then it goes into the refrigerator for 4 hours at least. Okay, so this is not something that is done quickly. Like I said, when I was younger, trying to do this, trying to get it set up really fast, doesn't happen, does not work. Okay, ended up very disappointed with the results. So I'm going to pause the video, and we'll come back in 2 hours, and I'll show you about adding the fruit to it and stirring it through, and then in 4 hours it should be set, and we'll come back and take a look at it and have some Jello. Thank you. Okay, now we have the Jello that is partially set. If you try to stir it, you see it's trying to set up. Okay, that is perfect for putting the fruit into. Now for this, you want to use fruit that has been drained. Okay, because if you try to add some extra juice to it, it's going to make the Jello. Oh, my director is giving me orders here, as you can hear in the background. And you can use any type of fruit you want, whatever you think will go good with the flavor of the Jello that you're using. I'm kind of doing a double orange here. I'm using some drained mandarin oranges and orange Jello. So we're doing a double orange here, okay? And as you put this in, you'll see if you don't stir it, the fruit will sit right at the top. But because it's semi-set, it's not all going to sink to the bottom. So you can get a good distribution going on here. Okay, I find nothing so frustrating. Well, I find many things frustrating, but having the fruit just sink all to the bottom, I find very, very frustrating. And this is how you avoid it. You let the Jello partially set for 2 hours. Then at that point, it's ready to add some fruit to it. Okay, as you'll be able to see, you can almost decide where you're going to put each piece of fruit, which is really, really nice. And like I said, make sure you drain it. You can use almost any type of fruit you want. I prefer to use a canned fruit because it will last a little bit longer without getting nasty. If you want to use fresh fruit, make sure that this is going to be eaten pretty quickly. Okay, so thank you. This is really simple. And once again, this was a salt and buttery with intent to satisfy. And this is Jello. Thank you. Okay, now this Jello has sat for at least 4 hours, preferably overnight, in the refrigerator. Now, at the point where we stirred in the fruit, at that point you can also stir in whipped cream if you want to make it a little bit lighter. There's so many different options you can do. Okay, now as you can see, nice and solid. Okay, no liquid gop. And go ahead and scoop some out. See? Now that is a well-set Jello with fruit in it. As I said, this is considered a classic recipe. It is very, very simple. Okay, only requires a couple of ingredients, and if you don't want to add the fruit, that is perfectly okay. As I said, though, you need to let it set for at least 4 hours, preferably overnight. This is not something that can be really rushed. I've run into a few disasters when I didn't know what I was doing and trying to learn. So hopefully I can steer you clear of some of those embarrassing disasters. Once again, this was a salt and buttery with intent to satisfy. Today we made Jello. Thank you.